Everybody, I got bad news. We've been canceled.
Oh, no. Peter, how could they do that?
Well, unfortunately, Lois, there's just no more room on the schedule. We've just got to accept the fact that Fox has to make room for terrific shows like Dark Angel, Titus, Undeclared, Action, That 80s Show, Wonder Falls, Fast Lane, Andy Richter Controls the Universe, Skin, Girls Club, Cracking Up, The Pits, Firefly, Get Real, Freaky Links, On at Large, Costello, The Lone Gunman, A Minute with Stan Hooper, Normal, Ohio, Pasadena, Harsh Realm, Keen Eddie, The Street, American Embassy, Cedric the Entertainer, The Tick, Louie, and Greg the Bunny.
Is there no hope?
Well, I suppose if all those shows go down the tubes, we might have a shot.
The reason for the show being back is as much as anything else, a complete change in, the economic structure of the way these studios do business.
This is the worst use of money since I tricked out my big wheel. Hey, ladies, check out this ride, huh?
It's this entirely new medium of TV to DVD properties that's really changed everything. And that's actually coupled with what deserves the other half of the credit is the Cartoon Network reruns.
Good to be back, America!
When we found out that, the show was beating Leno and Letterman every night, and that was the first inkling that maybe, there was reason for hope.
All right, let's do it! Yes, I am the king!
Never in a million years did I think they would actually pick up more episodes.
Congratulations!
We put the property out there, let somebody else build its audience, and then take it over when it has that audience. And that's what happened to Family Guy the second time around.
This plan is so perfect, it's retarded.
Gary Newman, who's the studio president, and really deserves a lot of the credit for, spearheading this movement to get the show back. I mean, this is... The fans should send him letters of thanks.
Oh, man, this is even more intense than that time I forgot how to sit down.
He called me in and just kind of sprung it on me. He said, we're thinking about putting this thing back into production.
My God, I haven't been this exhilarated since Brian took me to see Les Miserables.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen. There will be a slight change in the cast tonight.
Oh, no.
For this evening's performance, the role of Jean Valjean will be played by Kirk Cameron.
Oh, unbelievable! Oh, my God, how lucky are we, huh? Hey, Stewie, what are you doing tonight? Oh, nothing, just watching Kirk Cameron play Jean Valjean. Oh, my God, curtain up!
The first order of business was to talk with Caravallo, who is the producer of the show, and she's the one who essentially sets up the production, and finding out, what writers we could get back who knew the show, what artists we could get back. A key component was Peter Shin, who is our supervising director and is just a brilliant, brilliant animator. There was all these little pieces that had to come into play, and he's somebody who, if we had not been able to get him off of the project he was working on, we may not have been able to do this.
My daughter needs a makeover like there's no freaking tomorrow.
There are a lot of people from the original staff who are here.
That's David Goodman.
You want to know what I think? Read our scripts.
We actually have more of our season 1 and 2 writers this time around than we did during season 3.
Oh, we go way back.
Mike and I are also friends outside of the show.
We like to party.
Yeah, ladies.
This group of writers, unlike any other show I've ever written for, we all sort of got together frequently after the show had gone away. Every now and then someone would say, wouldn't it be great if it came back? And then I remember last December we were at a party at Seth's house and there was talk of the show coming back. And I thought, well, that's a nice thought, but that doesn't really happen.
It's like, you know what? Fuck you. Don't toy with me. If it's coming back, call me when it's coming back. I can't deal with this emotional roller coaster.
What do you say we christen these new sheets, huh?
Why, Lois Griffin, you naughty girl.
That's me.
Dirty hustler. You filthy, stinky prostitute.
I get it.
You foul venereal disease-carrying, street-walking whore.
All right, that's enough.
Like a couple weeks later, he's like, well, I think it's really happening, and can you come back, and would you come back, and I couldn't believe it.
I'm so excited, I want to prep my diaphragm now.
Gross.
The actors are all back. I mean, this is an instance where if this were not an animated show, we would be in kind of deep trouble.
Seth Green calls me. He's like, "Did you hear Family Guy got picked up?" And I was like, "No." He goes, "Turn on E." We turn on E, and it's like scrolling on E. And I was like, "I didn't get a phone call. Did you?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, that's interesting. Like, we didn't know about it. Like, we found out from the news. We're like, huh, all right. The next day, we got a phone call like, "Would you want to come back?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, bring us back."
I got a makeover, Dad. Don't I look great?
Oh, Meg, honey, I always thought you were beautiful just the way... oh, God. Couldn't do that with a straight face.
The people spoke, and thank God.
Welcome to the family, sweetheart. Chris, go burn all Meg's old pictures.
While we were off the air, the good thing about the internet is that it sort of kept everyone together. I mean, these fans had a place to go, even though the show wasn't on the air anymore, to talk to other people who are fans of the show. And it somehow built up, you know, this sort of need and this want.
I think it was all done for the fans. I think we tried to get as many writers back because the fans were so strong about the show that there's no need to change it.
I don't quite know how to explain the emotion connected to it, but it's like when people are that supportive of something that you think is valuable, it's really satisfying.
Chris just picked his nose and he keeps touching me with his finger.
What good is mining nose gold if I can't share it with the townspeople?
One thing that a lot of people have mentioned is that they feel that the show is very real, which just sounds like a weird thing to say about an animated show, but I know what they're talking about.
It's nice to feel like there's some kind of collective mentality that's all finding the same thing funny. So the fact that we had such a strong fan reaction to the DVD and that got the show put back on the air says a lot.
I hear there's a lot of buzz about this band.
Yeah, there was a pretty positive review carved in Tony's ass.
It's incredibly validating, because we knew when we were writing it, we knew there was something really special here.
You guys got talent.
Well, where do we sign?
Right here on Tony's butt cheek. Ah!
We had definitely a fan base. They were small, but they were crazy about the show. So we knew we were doing something right.
Oh, crap, today's the 17th.
Ah!
I think what's interesting is the show is a tiny bit ahead of itself in that it's made for DVD in a lot of ways. It's so dense. Like, our scripts are so much longer than most half-hour scripts, and there's so many jokes in it that it's almost made for DVD to be able to stop. Wait a minute, what was that?
Do you have a picture of yourself that I could tape to the back of Lois's head?
I've always found the show to be really, really funny. There's a universal sense of humor, which made me feel not so alone in the world.
It was almost like being an artist and having a painting that you worked on for a couple years, and then you put it in a closet for a couple years and pulled it back out and saw the different things that you could do with it.
Chris, come down here. I need to talk to you.
I wouldn't want another one of those couple-year breaks, but I think it helped us really rejuvenate and come in strong.
Hey! Do you have any idea what time it is? Get in the house, fatty!
As long as we have enough people who know the show, we can, you know, fill out the rest and train new people, and it really always works. I mean, good writers and good directors adapt quickly. You know, we have some new people this season that are among some of the best people we've ever had, so somehow it's all worked out.
Damn, I'm terrible at meeting new people, like the time I was on Blind Date.
I'm having a great time, Stewie.
Me too. So, you ready to go grab some za?
Yeah.
So, wild guess here, but from the looks of your arm hair, I'm guessing you're Italian?
You know, when a group of characters really work and really click, it's something that's rare enough on television that when it does happen, people latch onto it, and I think that has happened here too. But I think there's not a lot of comedy out there on television that strives to, above all else, make you laugh.
People were primed to say this is not as good as the original. And we had that bar set really high because we knew how important it was to come out of the gates really strong and to prove to everyone not only is this as good, but in many ways it's going to be better.
Somebody save him! He can't swim!
Oh, he's not even kicking. Kick, Joe, kick!
Peter, he's a paraplegic.
That doesn't mean he can't hear. Kick, Joe, kick!
We actually did not set out to make any kind of change in the show. I mean, the last episode of season 3, I think, was Road to Europe. And the first episode of season 4 is North by North Quahog. Our goal was to make those seamless, that they could have been produced one week after another.
Hi, boys.
I didn't have my hand down my pants.
I'm my own worst critic, and these shows this year are the best that we've done.
Oh, here are the coffee mugs.
We're pushing the boundaries even further. I think we have even edgier jokes than we did the first time. I think we have smarter jokes than we did the first time.
The administration's plan for peace in the Middle East is shallow and pedantic.
I agree. Shallow and pedantic.
I agree as well. Shallow and pedantic.
Maybe the standards and practices are a little more discriminating, but I think that hasn't kept us from making the show what it always has been.
Everything all right, Peter?
Well, Lois, since you asked, I find this meatloaf rather shallow and pedantic.
I think we've got some great characters that come on that are brand new, and of course we pay homage to some of the chicken fight and some of these things that we did originally. We try to sort of call back a little bit to remind the fans we haven't forgotten where we were as well.
Sorry about that.
Family Guy's innovative. They take chances. And when you take chances, a lot of times it's hit and miss. And I think that they hit more than they miss.
Okay, if I make this, we're all gonna get laid. Ha-ha! Yes! Score! Score!
It's a show that it definitely grows on you,
Boy, I'd really like to chew on my crotch right now.
We basically get in the car for a road trip, and someone pushes the gas. And you have absolutely no idea where you're going to end up. Honestly, it's a little bit nutty like that.
The writer's room back then was like a bar fight, only instead of punches, it was jokes. Everybody was just joking away like crazy, and there didn't seem to be any rules.
After today, your father will be known as the man who walked the longest distance with a sarcastic midget on his head. Now let's give him some encouragement.
All right, Dad! I love midgets!
As far as we're concerned in the room, if it's funny, it goes in. And we've all been doing comedy-related things for a long time, and it's a the toughest crowd of all is in the writer's room.
I will tell you this, on a traditional sitcom, you're in the writer's room, a situation arises, and the comedy writers, the first thought that comes out of their head is usually the funniest observation, and the second thing you hear is, well, we can't say that on TV.
Diane, I'm standing outside the Park Barrington Hotel because they don't allow Asians inside.
Fancy place.
On this show, that thought is the one that goes in, and it's always the funniest joke, and what's happened is, because it ends up being a little uncensored or whatever, it feels like it's breaking a taboo, but I don't think we ever sit down and say, what taboos can we break this week? But we do try to see what we can get away with.
It takes the sting out of something. When a joke is like blisteringly mean or racist or stupid or just completely insensitive, it's done with cartoons. It doesn't hurt as bad.
How do you deal with it?
Deal with what?
With being retarded.
Peter, I'm not retarded. I'm handicapped.
Oh, well, now you're just splitting hairs.
There's so many years of like soft comedies in the movies, and everyone keeps saying, why can't they make another Stripes or another Caddyshack or another Animal House? And it's like, well, those were R-rated comedies. They were allowed to push the envelope a little more. And it's funny for the moments that you hear on the DVD where we did take out the bleeps, where Brian says to Peter,
"In your fucking face, fuckwad!"
It's we did that knowing that we were going to put out DVD, which is another difference in this season from last season.
Oh my God! What are they doing? Why are they trying to publicly humiliate me like this? I mean, what's the purpose? Oh, shiny red ball!
Peter, watch out!
We're aware that DVD is a big part of this as we're writing the shows, and there are gags here and there that we know there's no way they're going to get on the air, but we'll do them anyway because, well, that'll be that's a funny one for the DVD.
Are you out of your mind? You can't sell me, you fat son of a bitch!
Not to get philosophical about comedy, but what's true is funny, and I think that our show probably says what a lot of people are thinking about a middle-of-the-road sitcom or a particular celebrity who, if we make the right joke, everyone says, oh my God, yeah.
So, Annika Sorenstam, you're quite the female golfer, aren't you? Yes, quite the female golfer. Ha! I knew it! Look! Everybody look! Look! She's a fraud!
The way dialogue is written and spoken isn't your sort of typical, kind of canned dialogue that you get on a lot of other sitcoms. We make an effort as writers to, where it's appropriate, make it feel realistic and something that people can feel is representative of something that has happened to them or something that they could see happening to them in the real life.
It's very relative to what's happening today. It's not just a show about nothing. It's not a funny cartoon that kids can watch and be like, ooh, cartoon. They could, but also adults can watch it.
I am so clever. That's why they picked me to convince Congress to go to war.
There is no just cause for an invasion of Iraq.
Well, that may be. But what we're all forgetting is, anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay.
I want to go to war.
Oh, yes, we should definitely go.
We should totally go.
I was the first one who wanted to go to war.
It's a type of humor that people hadn't seen a lot of when the show first came on the air. You know, it's a lot of quick gag type humor, sort of laced throughout, you know, a story that they can also follow and get absorbed into.
Family Guy just doesn't really worry about necessarily a linear plot. It kind of, my favorite thing about Family Guy is you will start in one place and think that you're going down 7 or 8 different paths.
I'm not gonna listen to you anymore.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm inside your head now, fatty, and I just might reach into your brain and do this.
Ow! Okay, I'll listen.
I think it's just the uniqueness of the style of humor, and I give all the credit for that to Seth MacFarlane, who created the show. You know, I think he really came up with something unique, which is hard to do, particularly in today's comedy environment.
There's almost, in an odd, lowbrow way, a sophistication that you get on the DVD from, you know, it makes it feel like more like you're watching a little movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Damn it, you guys are boring the crap out of me. Stupid, mindless chatter is what it is. You know what I'm gonna do? Just gonna go back to my place and rent a dirty movie. This is ridiculous.
We really push ourselves hard to keep the quality up,
That was weird. Oh, well. Hey, let's compare breasts.
but we've relaxed a bit because, you know, we're not, trying desperately to stay on the air.
Okay, Quagmire, time to take off your training wheels.
There's a level of stress that just has been eased a little bit.
Esteban, mucho tension lower. 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 Lower on top of old Smokey!
We are more comfortable, and you can hear voice differences and how there's an actual physical change from Lois's voice and Peter and Stewie from the first season to this season.
Peter, mental retardation usually happens before you're born. It isn't something you can catch. Don't you think you're overreacting?
Well, excuse me for being retarded. My whole world has been turned upside down. Black is east, up is white.
I think that comes from finding the character and kind of becoming more, seeing what's funny and what works and becoming more mature with it.
Look at that little foot. I'm gonna eat that foot. I'm gonna eat it. Give me that foot. It looks delicious.
For like Seth MacFarlane, who does 12 different voices per episode, that's talent. I just go in and talk. Not so much talent, but I can enunciate now.
Fat ass and his drunk friends left me at the roller rink. You know, this wouldn't have happened if I had my own car.
It's interesting with the voices because if you watch like season 1, almost all the characters sound very different from the way they sound at this point.
Giggity, 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 giggity.
Those are so his mannerisms.
I have never felt any kind of pressure on the show to satisfy anything. That may be a really obnoxious statement, but the writing's really good. So all I have to do is not screw it up from my perspective. Anything extra that I add to it spontaneously, it just kind of happens.
I am in no mood.
Here's something funny that's a confession. I never read the scripts because once I decided that I was a fan of the show, which was really early on, and because the recordings are done individually, I'm able to just come in and do my cues and watch the show like a fan without knowing what's going on.
My dad's smarter than your dad.
We have the same dad, idiot.
Yeah, but mine's smarter.
They've just kind of evolved or become more specific vocally. And I'd say the same is true of the writing. You know, we kind of had broad strokes of each character at the beginning, and they've just fleshed out. I mean, it's, you know, I guess the way that we grow them is simply by continuing to try to speak in their voice.
Oh, God, my claustrophobia is setting in.
It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's the fabric. It's the fabric. It's your clothes. All right, let's get your clothes off.
Oh, Peter. Peter, what's wrong with you? I'm naked.
Oh, God, you're self-conscious. I'm sorry. You know what? Look, Cleveland, look. See? Now you're not alone.
You will not see a sweeter side of the Griffins. I think filthier. I think they might be a little filthier season 4. I think it was like you came back and you were really excited to get all your poo-poo humor out and get on the table fast.
Ah, broke a damn blood
every show kind of helps change the landscape, so to speak. Everything kind of like brings new ideas or pushes the envelope a little more and allows the next one to do a little bit more.
Oh, a parking ticket! I was gone 5 minutes! Oh, how could this day get any worse? Oh my God.
It breaks a little bit of the rules, and unlike traditional sitcoms, nobody on Family Guy learns anything. No one grows. There's no lesson at the end. And that's, I think a lot of people find that refreshing. No one learns a goddamn thing.
Now we can live with you again, even though you're a dangerous retard.
Don't say retard, Chris. We prefer to be called little people.
Maybe there's some crazy folk out there who drink beer all day and don't go to work. It's possible, but overall, I think people can just come home after work and just enjoy a half hour of just nothing and laughing and just forget about everything else.
It's good to have land.
Perhaps the Family Guy's legacy would be pushing it farther than anybody else has so far in primetime network TV.
Oh, good Lord!
And the only way you can get away with that is by really being clever and subversive and interesting.
Is that Duty?
I'm doing the dishes, Joe. I'll change you in a minute.
Fortunately, Family Guy has a lot of seeds planted and a lot of places to turn for laughs. And, I don't think we're close to, running out of material for the show.
A lot of times people come to the show mainly for the laughs and the gags, but I hope that over time people will also kind of feel like they know the Griffins as characters too, and not just as, two-dimensional, vehicles for doling out all these gags.
Tonight the babysitter comes, Rupert. Lovely Lidan.
Oh, hey, Lidan. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Yeah. Oh, just me, Stewie. Just being myself. Yeah. Well, this here? Oh, it's just my package.
I'm probably going to go to hell for working on it.
God delivered it. I signed for it. World keeps on spinning.
All the hard work we did those first couple years wasn't for nothing.
All right, ladies, enough chit-chat. Take it off, get in the shower, and bounce around for me.
At the end of the day, it's entertainment. This is so silly, and it's late-night cartoon comedy, and people are finding some comfort and solace in a good laugh, and that's what it stands for.
Is there any tread left on the tires at all? Or at this point, would it be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway?
This is what we all love doing, and we just want to keep doing it. And it's as much fun for us to do as it is for the fans to watch.
Oh, I love dodgeball. Heads up.
It's literally twice the numbers of people watching.
Oh, I love bunt cake. Heads up.
It's like, wow, it actually happened.
Oh, I love the trombone. Heads up.
It's the first time since we've been doing it that I think it's safe to say that we're here to stay for a while.
That's the smartest thing I've ever heard anyone say about anything.
We love it.
Hey, Stewie, high five.
Well, it's about time.
Psych. Damn!
It's why I'm not a complete alcoholic.
Sorry, I just